Here we are again. It's Amy.
And Jeff.
And it's
How many episodes is this?
I think we have to count. I think we're up to like 18 or something.
Holy cow. I hope we still have friends when we get back.
I know. They're going to be, oh God, this is so boring. There they are again. I guess we should watch. They're counting the numbers.
Well, hopefully they find them as much fun to watch as we do to make.
Well,
because it is kind of a goofy time.
It is. And I think when we go home, I'll watch them again.
Yes.
You know, just as a way to remember everything we did.
I think so.
Yeah.
That'll be kind of fun, a good refresher.
Exactly. So as much for you guys as for us. But, so, when last we talked to you, we were finishing up becoming birders in Langkawi. So we had come off a bunch of days in a row. So
Yes.
we were in the big KL for 2 days.
Kuala Lumpur.
Yes. And then Penang. And then Langkawi. And it was kind of go, go, go. And it was hot. And, you know, did we have time even in between Kuala Lumpur and Singapore? We might have had a day in there. But in any event, we
got in late. That was the thing, because you didn't have to dive till 1:30.
That's right.
Yeah. So we had an easy morning.
Wow. But anyway, so when we got to Thailand, that was our next destination. It was Phuket,
Phuket.
which is a tropical island in Thailand, and very much a tourist destination in its own right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's hovering right there, close again, towards the equator.
It is.
And we were having upper 90 degree days, and real field temperatures well into the hundreds.
So we let the masses get off before us.
Yes.
And then we just walked out and
explored town.
We did.
Grabbed a taxi.
Grabbed a cab and said,
take us somewhere.
And he said, would you like to go shopping? And we said, sure.
So our first stop was the gym company. It was a real modern looking building.
Yes.
Quite the production.
It was. No photography inside.
Yeah.
They met you at the door. A little lady met us there. She walked us through. At first I thought, oh, this isn't a store. I don't know what this is. She walked through this gallery.
Well, the history of the gym business and all the things that are mined there on the island.
And there was animation and old costumes. And then you walked through kind of a showcase area that had just over-the-top jewels and settings. And
so they mine almost any gemstone you can imagine here on Phuket. So there were rubies, emeralds.
Were they mined there, or they
Yes.
just dealt in them?
No,
okay.
A lot of them were mined. We saw the mining exhibition.
We did. Oh, that's right.
No diamonds, but they had them.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of semi-precious stones, like all the birthstones.
Mm-hmm.
But once we finished the museum, they assigned us a salesperson.
She walked us all the way through. She met us at the door and walked us all the way through. What's the difference? But yes, she was our lady. So she wanted to know my life's desire. What did I want? Well, I had no idea what I wanted, and I really.
And we weren't allowed to wander around because every time you take off, you were being followed. And so, if you knew what stones you were looking for, you could be taken directly there.
Yes. And at first I thought, well, maybe a citrine to go with my wedding ring. Mm-hmm. But of course my wedding ring is a mandarin citrine, which is very unusual, and they didn't have anything like that.
They had one that was close, that if it was on your ears, if we got the studs, would probably work fine.
And they were beautiful, but they were $300, and I wasn't really planning on buying anything special that day. They were beautiful. I could have owned them, but then we moved along, and I saw some pearls, and the pearls were really beautiful. So I found this one. It's just a little guy, and it's got a little pink hue to it, and supposedly was from Phuket.
Yes.
And
two little diamonds clustered around it.
Exactly. So it's just perfect.
Looks good on your skin.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
Much like the Indian ladies in the 22 karat gold.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes, so I'm very happy with my little purchase. Didn't cost a whole lot of money. It was wonderful. I'll hand it down to somebody someday, I'm sure. So, yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Then we worked our way back, found our driver.
Mm-hmm. Waiting right there for us.
He took us into Old Town, the market in the Old Town, Phuket.
Mm-hmm.
And by now it's really getting hot. So we tried to stay in the shade as much as we could.
Yeah.
We tried to do a little shopping. Actually, Amy scored right off the bat.
I got a long sleeve white cotton just cover. And I've already used it where it just saved my life. Yeah. So I had nice long sleeves on to kind of sun protection. And, sometimes in the ship too inside, if you're in certain rooms, it gets just a little chilly because they keep the air conditioning a little low. So, yes, it's multi-use. So, and I paid big money for that.
Yeah, probably $6, $3.
Yeah, $7, $8. Yeah. And it's perfect. It's a little hoodie. I love it. Yes.
So all the other shops were just the same knickknacks, tchotchkes. What's the word they use on the shore?
Shooby shops.
And we looked around, and
that's for you, Rich and Sue.
So that was getting kind of tiring, and now the old street was interesting architecturally.
Yeah.
And I think we'd already mentioned this from some other site. Because didn't Phuket copy their streets from Penang with the long, skinny buildings?
Yes, they're sister cities.
Yes.
Yes, so, and I guess a lot of the residents of Phuket have lineage back to Penang,
yes.
Which is, you'll remember, in Malaysia. So, and they're somewhat close together.
Yeah.
Only a day sail.
Sure. Easy enough.
A night sail.
Yeah.
But we were keeping our eyes open so that we could, get a cold beer. We did find a cutie little bar. It opened in the front with just a garage door. And went back a fair ways, and just two people working there. And we said, gee, do you have beer? She said, oh, yeah, we have beer. Of course we have beer.
Well, they had a nice theme, chill and drink.
Chill and drink, yeah.
And so it was definitely cooler in there. They had a marginal kind of AC. I don't know if it was just evaporative, but
probably, and fans.
Good. Yeah, and
good overhead fans, I think. Yeah. So we just kind of killed our time there. Had our Chang beer.
That's the local beer, yeah.
Yes, Chang beer. And then we walked back to our taxi.
To the taxi.
And said, what's next? He didn't respond. He just drove us to the boat. We said, okay.
That was fine. We were glad to get back on and get a shower and chill off.
Because that night, we did have something planned with our friends, Hawaii Laura,
Kauai
Joe. They had arranged a food tour.
Street food tour, night tour.
Yeah, so we horned in on them. And
so we were going to talk about what we did in the evening after we relaxed and showered.
Yes.
And that was to go out to food stalls, night market, food stall, and street food.
Yes. And we got in a cab again, and we met our guide at a Buddhist temple. And the first thing she did was take us inside the temple and show us around. And
you had to take our shoes off.
We did, which is just fine. Everybody else had their shoes off too. And she took us in, and she showed us some of the, how it works, the appropriate things to do. We had to crawl under a little altar even, which was
so we got to
unusual.
Go into the altar room where you could see the statues. And you stood on one side, but over the big patron saints there and the Buddha, you had to go under the platform to be humble, and then you popped out on the other side.
Yeah, I saw a guy do it, and I was like,
"What's going on?"
What?
Yeah.
And then I saw him pop out the other side, and So, and then we got to do it, so that was very cool.
Yes.
But then after that, then we put our shoes back on, and she marched us to a little restaurant, and she explained that a lot of Thai people, or Phucanese, I don't know.
I think are all Thais.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
Eat out almost every night.
Oh.
Or not really eat out, but they pick up their food to go because it's so inexpensive and so good. And
you're not heating up your house.
Exactly, because it's 100
sitting
degrees.
in these little outdoor places, you just feel the heat coming from their woks and everything.
But the food was good.
It was.
It was very exotic for us.
Now, yes, exotic in the sense that we don't have vendors on the streets serving four different types of chicken and food and things of any kind you want.
Mm-hmm.
But also exotic in the sense that the woman had to tell the people to be really, really easy on the spices and the hots.
At least for some of it. Our friend Joe really enjoys spicy food, but he was able to augment on his own.
Yeah, they had chilies and things to add to fire it up a bit.
Without hitting all of it. So
right.
The very first place we went, we had 3 different dishes, and they cooked them very much like a fajita.
Yes.
They had a cast iron little round dish that I'm going to show on the film here, and they just poured the food right into it.
Well, they had noodles on some of them eating, and then they brought the sauce and the rest of the vegetables and whatever else that was in the broth and put it in there, and this thing kept it all
and
bubbling.
It cooked right in front of you.
Yes.
The chicken one, that chicken was raw when she poured it in.
It was perfect.
Yes. So there was a chicken one, a pork one, and a shrimp one.
Yes.
And one had glass noodles, I remember.
One had broad, almost like a small version of lasagna noodles that I really enjoyed.
Yes. Another one had big onions in it that I really liked. And kind of an egg substance, too. But they were all very tasty. Now, being the naive tourists that we are, we ate all of it.
Yeah.
We're thinking, oh, this is awesome.
This is it.
It was a great
then
tour.
She explained we had numerous more stops. She should have warned us while we're chowing down.
Exactly. Just take a few bites, And then, right after that, she said, we're going to be right back. So, and the drinks.
Yes.
Right? She brought us over like 5 different kinds of drinks. I grabbed the one that wasn't very sweet. It was very iced tea tasting, and I enjoyed it.
Well, they were
much.
kind of tea based.
Yes. Yours was.
I had a flower based.
Hibiscus.
It was kind of hibiscus and something.
Yeah.
It was a little purple tint to it. It was really good. I enjoyed that.
But sweet.
It was a little sweeter,
but
it was still refreshing. They actually had ice in there that kept it cool for a few minutes.
Sure.
So after we finished our drinks, we actually just got up, walked 2 doors down for dessert next.
And there's a little cart there, and he had every kind of dessert there. So she's just said, kind of make us a little thing, one of everything. Now, it was so inventive. They took banana leaves and they would wrap the portions in banana leaves
and stick it with a
toothpick
to hold it
to try and keep down the plastic. So I thought that was fantastic.
Yes.
Now we did still get some plastic, but do you recall any of the things it was made out of?
Oh well, the weird one was the coconut charcoal.
Yeah.
It was kind of a black, gooey dessert. Not real flavorful, but you flavored it with coconut and stuff. I mean, I tried them all.
Yeah.
I really liked the flan.
Yeah.
The cheesy cake. It was somewhere between a flan
and it was almost as if it was in a shell of something, or almost like it was in a squash.
Huh.
Maybe that was just me. It looked that way. But it was all very good. So, again, here we are, naive tourist Americans. We just had 3 big plates of food, now she's serving as dessert. We're like, oh.
Well,
great.
We really didn't eat that much because there were 4 of us.
That's true.
And she helped with the desserts.
She did. So, yeah, so we ate as much of the desserts as we could.
And I went minimal at that point. Sampled them all.
Yeah.
But didn't try to finish anything.
Exactly. So then she gets us up, takes us to another place.
Well, then we did a little touring first so she could work off some food.
Right.
And so she took us through town and pointed out where some of the night markets were going to be, but not till maybe 8 o'clock. And then pointed out some of the highlights of the building. She seemed to particularly want to highlight or talk about the German occupation. Not German, Japanese.
and some of the local street art she was pointing out to us, and a lot of the commonalities with Penang. She was quite taken with Penang, and that we had just been there 2 days before, so she was asking us questions. Is it, the hill? She wanted to know if it was worth it to go up the hill because she had never done that, right? Or was that her or Wendy?
That was her.
Yeah.
That was her.
So.
Because we were talking Penang, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good. So after that, we went to Food Stop 3, and it was a hole in the wall and hot and steamy.
It was.
There had to be. So the Uber Eats or delivery is called Grab.
Grab, yeah.
And there had to be 9 guys out there waiting to grab their orders.
Looking at their phones. And,
So they had some system that when their order was up, they got notified. They went up to the desk and put it in their thing and jump on their scooter and put them away.
Off they go. Yep. Now, we ate there, and at first we were in a table in the back, which was fine, but then we found a table under a fan.
Closer to the front. Yes, got a little bit of a breeze to it.
Exactly. They had a beautiful little pot that had all these little peppers in it, and it was in a vinegar sauce. And that was for Joe.
Yeah.
but it was pretty.
All Amy had to do was lift the top off of that, and my nose, I could smell it, and I go, oh, man. Ugh.
Now, this place was traditional in that you got a little mound of rice, and then all the dishes seemed like they had egg on them, on the top. And
sort of a fried egg.
Exactly. And there was a chicken dish and a pork dish.
Talk about the pork.
Yeah, the pork
it was minced pork. It was chopped very finely.
And it was crumbled. It almost tasted a little peanut buttery to me.
Huh.
Maybe
That's
just
weird.
a little, but it was good. There was a dish made out of morning glories, an egg, and it was a little spicy.
Now, wasn't this where we had the cashew chicken also?
No. No, that was a different place. No, we just had the scrambled pork and a shrimp dish.
Yes.
It was, yeah.
Oh, more like a prawn. They were big.
That's true, and they were whole, so you had to kind of skin them, to eat them. Which they're all in sauce and stuff.
You gotta pick the head off, squeeze the head off,
yeah. Then she walked us a little while and wanted to stop again for more food. And by this point, we were all, no, we're happy. We've had enough food because we were very full, and the kind of.
And then we had a half an hour to kill before our ride came back for us.
So she was death marching us all over downtown Phuket.
And we want something cold to drink, a beer.
I said, do you think we could just stop and get a beer?
And Amy scored us a place called Yes.
Well, actually, the guide knew it. And she walked us past several bars. She said, I know just the place. And we walked in, it was ice cold in there. It was a very hipster place. It was a microbrewery, I think.
Yes.
Called Yes. They had a place where live music could be played. The girls were in little cutie outfits and, Western toilets, everything. They had it going on. Now,
good jazz music.
Yeah. Those beers were expensive.
Yes. What did they come to?
They might have been $5 a piece.
It was 100 of their dollars, which was like 20 for us.
For 4.
For 4 beers.
4 beers, yes.
And 2 were high-end IPAs, and I got a dark beer, and you got
I just got the regular lager. Yeah.
So it was kind of funny, but it was nice. If you walked to the back, you could see the brewery area on the way to the restrooms.
Yeah.
But then when you pop back in, you got the AC and the nice ambient lighting.
Right. There was a little smoking section there. As you walk back to the bathrooms, which because it was out in the open air.
That was hot and steamy.
Yeah. Well, we didn't hang out there.
No.
So yes, then we had to death march back to the temple because that's where our taxi driver was going to pick us up, and we were a good 10 minutes late. We were very lucky he didn't take off with us.
He hadn't been paid for the delivery trip, so he definitely wanted to get paid.
Well, and yes, I hope he didn't think that we were going to ditch him because we didn't.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was a great tour. It was a good way to try food while it's being explained to you, so you know what you're eating, and you have a sense of how spicy it's going to be.
And in a lot of, we were able to actually go up and watch food being
a lot prepared. Of it. Yeah.
And
invited even to watch it. Though having it poured in that pan was that was cool.
Neat.
We all agreed that we might would try that at home. That sounded really cool.
I agree.
So give us just a minute and we'll talk about Phuket Day 2. We're back.
We're back. Right now it's good morning, in a sense.
Exactly, yes.
Phuket Day 2.
Phuket Day 2. So one of the most iconic things to do in Phuket is a water sport of some kind.
Yes. Renowned for their beaches.
Exactly, and their fish, their colorful fish, which I really had tried to arrange a dive, but we got in a little later the first day, and we left a little earlier the second day, so it was really hard.
It wasn't going to work.
It wasn't going to work. So
snorkeling was it.
So we signed up for the excursion through the ship. So they get you there, and it's
back.
great. Yes. So we piled on the bus, and they drove us to a marina, and we all got on a big speedboat. There were 11 of us in our 10. There were 10 of us on the boat. They made us wear life jackets.
Well, I mean, they were going along at 35 knots or better.
I guess they figured we knew how to swim because they didn't make us wear them on the way back. So I'm not sure what that's about.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny. I guess leaving the fancy marina, you had to look safe.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I guess. So the boss was watching when you were leaving.
And it was a beautiful marina.
It was. And a very nice boat. It was covered and plenty of room. I mean, probably could have fit twice as many people in that boat.
We didn't have to.
Thankfully, we didn't.
Yeah.
So we drove about
400 horsepower engines.
3 big, engines. Yeah. It was going.
They like going fast.
We they took us to an island, Khoi Ka Island, I think.
Yes, Khoi, almost like Khoi Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before they took us to the island, they just stopped
in the water,
50 feet out, 100 feet maybe from the island.
Oh, where we snorkeled.
Yeah,
it's a little more than that, but not too far.
And everybody just jumped in the water. Now, the little German girl ahead of me was inching in, and I'm like, just jump.
What was this?
She was creeping down that ladder, toe by toe by toe, because she was getting cold.
Oh, that girl. Yes,
or
the German Mädchen.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The water was fantastic. It was not cold in any way.
It was not cold at all.
Yes. So I dove in, and I got our snorkel masks all cleaned up, and then Jeff jumped in, and I swam his over to him. And you tried for a little bit, but you got a thing so that you could float real good.
Oh, yeah. I asked for a flotation device. And got
At first
one.
they told you no.
No. And
they're only for the boat.
Something like that. Well, you talk to the right guy, and the guy said, here.
Yeah, exactly.
And So I had it, down around my waist to keep my butt up in the air, so I could keep my head in the water, and saw lots of coral.
The coral was fantastic. There was a medium amount of fish, I think. And
you had the sighting of the day.
I did have the sighting of the day. Now, even though there were 10 of us, it seemed like somebody was always on top of me. So I was trying to swim out, and I was trying to drag you out there because that's where you're going to see stuff and not bonk your head into somebody. I hate that.
Well, I thought you bumped into me.
Well, I probably did. Now, we didn't use the camera because...
I forgot it. We brought it. And I had to carry my flippers and everything, I actually just forgot it. I wanted to take it.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't do it on purpose. It was just trying to get out and get in the water, and
sometimes it's just about having fun and being in the moment.
But we made use of it later.
We did. So while everybody's, Pete, I'm always the last one out of the water. Did you ever notice that? Everyone was all over to the other side. I'm a fair distance from the boat, and I look down and I see this huge face, and it scared me. When you see a fish so big that you're like, oh my God, what is that? And he was very dinosaur looking. Mm-hmm. He had a flat head and kind of a triangle face. I swear to you, he was 5 feet long.
Okay.
He was enormous. He had to have been 50, 60 pounds.
What kind of fish was it?
He was a puffer fish. I'd never seen anything like this. And he was swimming through the coral underneath it, and he kind of knew where the little trenches were, and then he'd pop out. And so I followed him for just a little while, and then everybody else was getting out, so I'm like, oh, okay. So I reluctantly got out.
Well, it was roughly our hour.
Yes.
And then we had to get to the beach.
It was time. Yeah. So I get in the boat, and this woman is just going crazy. You remember her? Where's my bag? I can't find my bag.
Oh, my goodness, yes. This woman who was swimming with the boat next to us just climbed onto our boat.
She got on the wrong boat. What a ding dong.
Yeah, I saw her later on the boat. She was on our ship. Mm-hmm. She was on a different group boat.
Yes.
We were all at the same place.
I suppose she recognized us.
Yeah, she rode. So she just rode to the beach with us, and saw her later that evening. And I said, "Are you sure this is the right boat today? Like right now?" She goes, "Oh yes." She had a good. She wasn't offended. It was a good laugh.
Good.
And so that was fun. So I get to the beach, and
they pull right up to the beach, backed right in, take a anchor it
on
in
the sand on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had areas set up where you could access the jet skis, stand-up paddle boards, which no one understood how to use. They were all sitting on them with their legs dangling over the sides like they're straddling a...
Well, that was not our ship tourists.
Yeah.
These were the funny people that were probably from, I don't even know where.
I don't know.
There were a lot of, seemed like Chinese or...
There were Chinese, Middle
Asian.
East, and different Asian group. But
yeah.
Yeah, they weren't too good in the kayak or the little paddle boat, or it was
saw
all new for them.
One lady was in a bikini.
Yep.
And but they had beach chairs and umbrellas set up just for us.
Yes.
So that
we
was
go
awesome.
over and snag us a couple, and we were again next to our new German friends.
Yes.
And I just settled in, and my eyes were getting kind of droopy. I was thinking maybe a nap's coming on. This woman comes over and taking our drink orders. And yes. So I said, well, in that case, I'll stay awake long enough to drink my beer.
And the poor Germans didn't have any money for beer.
So we bought them a beer.
Jeff couldn't stand it. He said, if you're German, you have to have a beer.
Yeah. Again, it's another $3 or $4.
Yeah,
he got a fancy beer.
Oh, he got a Corona.
He ordered an import. He got a Corona with a lime.
I busted on him. I said,
that was probably that was probably the $5 bill. Whereas we got Tiger beers. No, I got a Shanghai.
Yeah, I got a Chang because I'd had it the day before. Yeah. So yeah, Jeff's resting. I go out into the water, and lo and behold, the snorkeling on the beach just as good as the snorkeling out in the water. As you got up farther, the coral wasn't quite as dense.
Yeah.
But a fair amount of fish, and the fish were quite bold. They were coming right up to us. So yeah, that was fun.
Well, I was standing there walking out. I was surrounded by these little silverfish, or maybe an inch and a half long. And I think that's what we saw in that one pan that we didn't eat, was all those. Oh. Those were all the little fried fish that we saw.
Yes. You mix those. Yeah, you mix those with rice.
Rice and noodles. Yeah, something salty.
Yes. So, and the water was beautiful. It was, not too bouncy. It was, it was great. There were a lot of people snorkeling out there. And then, just as I'm coming in, I feel something on my face. And I'm like,
that's weird.
What is that? Why is my face stinging? Why is it sting? Why is it all over my face?
I wonder what happened.
A jellyfish got me.
Jellyfish got her.
He got me right under my chin, and it was good and splotzy for a few days, and I felt it all the way up in here. It was like in your muscles.
Yeah.
That's my first jellyfish sting.
Well, at least yours was mild. The one guy on the boat didn't look too good.
Yeah, his looked, and he said it hurt just as bad as when it first hit him.
Yeah.
Mine lasted a day. So yeah. First jellyfish sting for this girl from Iowa.
Oh,
so
there you go. We'll have something to talk about when you go corn husking.
Yeah, I've had that happen. Nobody offered to pee on my face, thankfully. So. So yeah, after that, then I just stayed in, and then we just kind of watched the tourists from the other places. And I'm thinking some of these young ladies, they don't dress like that at home, because their mothers would not approve. So I'm just saying, but yeah.
I think
it's time.
No, well,
okay.
I heard the pilot. No, keep going. We're almost done anyway.
We are. Yeah, the pilot boat's coming in.
Yeah, we'll be taking off here in a few minutes. And
very industrial area. We'll tell you in a few days where this is.
Yes.
So our postcard today.
Who does it go to?
I think it needs to go to Jack and Jerry.
Oh.
In North Carolina.
North Carolina. That sounds like a plan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So look out for that postcard, guys. And
we'll catch you on the next episode.
We gotcha. All right.